So, one of the upsides to having a bunch of historic tournaments over the weekend, there were a bunch of deck lists that had decent runs that looked varying range of interesting, so I wanted to give this a try. So we've got some Mardu Reanimator, Serra's Emissary, obviously a terror being flipped into play off of Indomitable Creativity. And then here we're doing something similar, only instead of creativity, we're looking to put our Fatty Boom Boom in the graveyard and then bring it back with Unburial Rites or Priest of the Fell Rites. The number one question you need to ask yourself is, Jeff, why would you want to do this as opposed to playing Indomitable Creativity? The best answer to that is because you're a hipster. The less sarcastic answer to that is because you technically have more redundancy in a deck like this. So, the big thing that this deck gets to do is, instead of just playing 4 copies of Indomitable Creativity, you get to play 4 Unburial Rites and 4 Priest of the Fell Rites, and past that, you get to play a selection of different creature bombs here at the top end of your curve, right? Like with Creativity, you want that consistency to know what you're getting every time, and with this style of deck, you get to choose which thing you're targeting to put into play, and you can get different things in different situations depending on what's ideal. We've got Thoughtseize as well as Bone Shards for a touch of interaction at the bottom. And then we've got Faithless Looting, Thrilling Discovery, and Seasoned Pyromancer to get our things into the bin and shift through our deck to find the cards we're looking for. So let's jump on into some games with this Mardu deck and see how it feels this morning. People asking about Meta Monday. The video is processing on YouTube as I speak. Well, hopefully, it will be done processing at some point during this match. It's only a 12-minute video, so usually those go pretty quick. Martian Centurion, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. A sand is more than good. It's great. We had a few resubs while we were doing Meta Monday, too, by the way. Obviously, Nixilis, Argon, ATL, Red Ranger, and Kenobi. Welcome back. Sorry I didn't do those at the time being. I didn't want to break the segment up with a bunch of it. So, the issues with processing on YouTube largely seem to be related to videos over 90 minutes. The more I take a peek at it. Maybe I'm just supposed to priest here, actually, to threaten the turn 3. Hey, thanks for the 39 months, Erdian. Welcome back. And Brutely, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. So next turn, we'll get to Seasoned Boy here. Go wide a little bit. Okay. Is that 4 now? Catch you later, Centurion. Yeah, Beaumont. Beaumont being 2 card types for Chandler is real good. Yeah, I think I messed this up by not doing this on 2, although there's probably a pretty good chance that they would have just unholy heated it, but very likely should have YOLO'd it. Yeah, the opponent is playing the mono red aggressive deck that was posted in a few different events over the weekend between the Arena Open, people posting deck lists on Twitter, and SCG. Expect it to be a mainstay of the format. Like we've talked about, it basically has all the hallmarks of decks that are good and you want to be playing in this format. Very proactive, linear strategy. Gets to largely ignore the opponent and just run them down, which is exactly what you want to be doing in Historic. One's not quite lethal. And they're only hitting us for 6 here, so if we draw an Unburial Rites, we can get protection from creatures. Oh, we're halfway. Wait, can we kill them? Not quite. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can only deal 12. All right, that one. We could die to a burn spell, chat. They've only played 1 Fiery Temper. Oh, we were dead to the Ramanap runes too. Good call. I'm gonna board out these Thoughtseizes, and I'm gonna board in 4 copies of Anger of the Gods. Funk Agenda, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Do you want Lantern? I don't think so. That's why I didn't sideboard it in. I think I'd rather just like cast Anger and clean their board. The Chandlers take a little while to get activated. Usually have a lot of opportunities to kill them. So I think my plan is to hold this for turn 3, so I give myself some more opportunities to draw a fatty to discard with it. So I think the plan is just like turn 2 Priest here, and then do this on 3 and hopefully find something to flip into play. At that point, I did not have enough life. This cost 3 life to utilize. So I didn't have enough life at that point in the game to, like, be able to do it. Is that a good draw, chat? If so, why? Could you let me know in chat? Goodbye, friends. Well, unfortunate that I played this on black. Need to keep in mind that I have double red cards in my deck in the future. Wow, flashback looting is their play for the turn. That bodes well for our hero. Funk Agenda, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Animal Crackers in my soup, thanks for the 5 months. I think I'm gonna let him chump block here. I'm gonna hold the rip apart for something else. I'm just gonna flashback looting this turn. That he turn 3 Massacre Wurm, yes. Burger, thank you for the 23 months. Welcome back. Okay, Satch, thanks for the follow. Dash 2. Usernames. Gilded. Thanks for the over 1.5 years. Good morning, good morning. I think this is definitely a land tier. Our deck can definitely just live to cast these cards in some games, so. Well, I mean, like, Lorehold Dragon was the best thing to be flooping because there were time warps, right? Like, Massacre Wurm's been a thing for a little bit now. Listen, chat, I ain't greedy. I'll take my 2-for-1 that kills their Beaumont with 3 cards under it. Good exchange for the home team. Why did people play Soul Guide over Relic? People play Soul Guide in Modern as well. I'm not sure how long it's been since you've played Modern, but you seem to be ill-informed. The reason is because you care about your own graveyard. So, like, our deck's a graveyard-based combo deck. I think I'm going to keep the Elesh Norn to be able to cast here down the line. Only 1 land off of that. Yeah, that's true too. Soul Guide does not require you to hold up mana to cast it. And same thing here, right? Like, our opponent uses their graveyard with Delirium and Mana Gorger. So they don't want to be exiling it. Morning, Whiskey. Try and loot our way into an extra land here, and we did. I can just stay in the graveyard for now. Well, thanks for the support, Earthy Poo. Welcome back. We did do a Meta Monday this morning. Dear YouTube, did you process? YouTube is processed. Look at that shit. Yay, short videos. Monday, Meta Monday. Do, 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 do. Are they 0 outs to Elesh Norn? I hope so. Am I gonna do Meta Monday stuff for post-rotation standard? Yeah, definitely. Kerchunk. Lady Gaga dominating the battlefield, chat. Okay.
You want to play with fire, huh?
They have a fiery temper? They have a fiery temper.
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yep. Okay, we have a game. Alright, so let's play this. Let's play this. They have Soul Guide sitting in place, so Unburial Rites isn't accomplishing anything at the moment. Just in case they have a burn spell in hand, I'm going to send 2 at Chandra here. And then we can sacrifice one of these tapped elementals to kill their Mana Gorge or Phoenix. Obviously, the Phoenix can eventually come back, but they need to cast 5 total red pips worth of spells to do it, so it takes them a while. I kept this looting in hand, because looting in hand means that I can like draw a blank next turn and then cast looting and then like cast to Serra's Emissary if we draw it. That's pretty scary. They have 2 Pyromancers in their bin here too. Just like we drew it up, fam. Just like we drew it up. Play to your outs. Play to your outs, ladies and gentlemen. We got bomb diggities. Some biggity bombs. Okie doke, fam. Turn 2, turn 3, reanimate turn 3. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it again. I was programming, what IDE did I use? I used a text editor with syntax highlighting. IDEs. Kids these days, their fancy programming tools. Yeah, use Notepad++ on Windows, and then on Unix, there's like 800 different decent editors that have syntax highlighting. Blue-green incubation dread. Yeah, I like Genie on Unix. There's one that I've definitely used before. No, not like Vim. Like actual editor that does syntax highlighting. Do I want a Massacre Wurm or a Serra's Emissary? Do you want Massacre Wurm or Serra's Emissary? I could kill their Incubation Dread. Like, they could just have, like, a Brazen Borrower here, right? Yeah, and they're clearly a ramp deck. Okay, I think I want to just kill their thing. This kills them. This kills them relatively quickly. Show me your secrets. Oh, chat. Chat, we're the bad guy. I'm the bad man. We are here to police their fun. Definitely here to police their fun. Panza, thank you for the 32 months. Welcome back. You know, honestly, Serra's Emissary doesn't seem very good here. I'm just going to board in these Legion Warbosses so we could run them down. Fun in my Magic the Gathering opponent? You want to have fun? Yeah, Anger could be okay. I think I'd rather just have, like, Legion Warboss than Anger, though. I think we just want to beat them down. They don't really have much interaction, so, like, early Legion Warboss just run away with the game, potentially. Andre Salem, thanks for the 11 months of Prime. Welcome back. Happy Monday, folks. Happy 3 more days till rotation. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. Flush Eldraine down the toilet. Toasted Marshmallow, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. I mean, I was gonna play Legion Warboss, but what do you expect me to do? Not put Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur into play on turn 3? I'm not a savage, Chad. I have a heart. It would just be wrong of me not to put Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur into play this turn. I have fans I need to keep up with, chat. I'm doing it for the fans. It's the content play. Wow, I had to discard 5 cards. Pretty unlucky.
Power surges through these lands.
Something that is actually kind of unlucky is that we didn't draw another Reanimate spell.
Harness the elements.
Like, ideally, we would have drawn an Unburial Rites to discard to hand size there, and we didn't. Wow, my opponent doesn't have a hand, so I can't Thoughtseize them. Our bad beats just don't stop, chat. Q-Row, thanks for the follow. The discard 6 cards. Yeah, we might actually be at risk of decking. No joke. 31 cards in deck. It's fine. Well, we should find an Elesh Storm before we deck, hopefully. Or Massacre Wurm. Do we leave in Bone Shards? Oh, you know what? I think I boarded them out.
The land fights for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically a build-around submission, Silver Oak. We're playing with fire a little bit because we're not killing the Magistrate Scepter, but our opponent decides we were not playing with fire and it was fine. That, doing all 3 of our gold quests here at the same time, farming our freemium currency like a pro. Look at how nicely that NordVPN logo fits in there on the black part of the arena window. Just good ad placement, chap. If you want to protect your internet connection, you can check out our sponsor, NordVPN. And get yourself a 2-year plan with 4 extra months for free at the link there in chat. Thanks for the follow, Fury. Dead game arena queue times giving us the excellent opportunity to shill. Yeah, sounds good. We just need to peel something here momentarily. So, sorry for that. One of the upsides to my cell phone being a Chicago area code from when I was a child is that when I get local calls where I live, they're the area code of the area I live in, whereas all of the spam robocalls I get are the area code from Chicago where my phone is from. So I try to make a point to answer local area codes because it's often the school or daycare or something like that. So, in that particular case, it was just the dentist confirming an appointment. But just in case it was the school or daycare, I wanted to answer in case they couldn't get a hold of Christy. But it does have a very good start here. Yep. Those of you that are new to the channel, like Globenstein there, I have three Rugrats, 6, 7, and 15 months. We have a rather busy household. Our favorite little plague carriers. Yeah, so like, before the pandemic, I regularly referred to my children as plague rats because if you've never been around children before, even in pre-pandemic time, they're just like germ magnets, right? Like they touch things, they put things in their mouth, they put their hands in their mouths. Like it just doesn't feel nearly as right in a post-pandemic world to refer to them as that though. It's for the 34 months in, yeah. Welcome back. Okay, so we can ditch the Serra's Emissary to Thrilling Discovery next turn, and then potentially priest it back into play, but there's a good chance that's just going to be too slow here, huh? I guess Thrilling does gain us a couple of life. You're the oldest of 10 siblings. Man, that's, honestly, chat, I feel like the phrase avoid it like the plague has been a misnomer for the entirety of my life, because a large portion of the United States country has proven that they would in fact not avoid the plague given the option. They would prefer to instead fuck around and then find out. Schillers, Siriz, thanks for the follow. Are we dead on board? Not quite. So I can go block, take 6. But then I'm not gonna have enough life to pay 3 for priest, right? Yeah. But it, I mean, the runes is lethal, then the bugbear is lethal. And we're dead either way too, right? Because we just don't have the life to activate this. Pretty clean sideboard playing here. Angers rip apart in Jin-Gitaxias. Thoughtseize out. So 27 months, Angry. Good morning, good morning. I would venture to guess that a lot of parents coming into schools is not something that's going to be a thing for the next little bit, Pyro Delver. I would expect that to not be a thing until we have vaccines approved for children and schools require them. I'm excited to watch conservative media lose their minds when eventually the COVID vaccine gets added to the list of, you know, half a dozen vaccines school children are required to have to go to public schools in the United States. I expect we're probably a year off from that, but we'll see. I think it was Los Angeles County has said all children 12 and up are required to have it. They're the first in the country to do that. The blue MAGA hashtag is the latest centrist bad faith both sidesism, saying that people that are pushing for progressive values in the United States are as extreme as right-wingers that literally attempted a coup in the capital of the United States. Because remember, chat, forcibly entering and literally killing cops in the capital of the United States is comparable to wanting people to have health care. They're all the same. I think we just anger, right? We like shock down to 13 anger, and then we shock and Unburial Rites next turn. Thanks for the third of a year, P-dubs. Welcome back. Ah, those pesky graveyard heat cards. Okay, so change of plans. We're on the cast the Serra's Emissary plan, which honestly is probably what you do in the post-board games most time with this deck. And the question I gotta ask myself is, do I want to Seasoned next turn or Rip Apart? I guess if I Seasoned, I'm not Serra's Emissary, we're discarding it. How close are they to Delirium? If they sack an artifact, they get Delirious. I think I'm supposed to just kill the Chandler here. There's a lot of propaganda and misinformation about it, Zadi. We're actually not that far off of casting that one here, right? So I can Seasoned Pyromancer here, ditch these two, and then if we draw 2 lands in our next 3 cards, we can cast Massacre Wurm, which is great. Okay. This is unfortunately blank due to Soul Guide Lantern, but it is what it is. Dog Mom's pretty scary. Even though we have chump blockers for a little bit here, she is indestructible when blocking, and she has an activated ability here that lets them hammer us down. Another comment about Relic versus Soul Guide Lantern. If this was a Relic in this instant, my opponent would not be able to threaten to exile my graveyard here, and my Unburial Rites would work. But now, because this is a Soul Guide Lantern, we're actually just dead, right? Yeah, I just don't have catch-up mechanic. We're just too clunky here. Yes, that is the incredible. So the mRNA vaccines have been being researched for a long time, but because of their use with everything surrounding COVID, an incredible amount of money was pumped into it. So not only have mRNA treatments for cancer been moving towards human trials, but there's one for HIV/AIDS as well. So a silver lining upside to things surrounding COVID is that we're seeing some really good advancements of things that have been slowly progressing but lacked funding previously because of investments into them. Science and technology are great. They're doing some genuinely great stuff. This hand does a lot of tire spinning. Oh, I don't know, like, there could be... I guess I don't have a Fatty or a Reanimate spell. And that's one of the tough parts about playing decks like this, is at the core, this deck's technically a 3-card combo deck, right? We need to be able to discard something, we need a thing to discard, and we need a thing to bring it back. It could be right to keep this, like... Thrilling Discovery shifts through our deck, and then Faithless Looting can loot away a fatty afterwards, then it sees even more cards. Is a $50 donation to get a deck added in, Scholar, and I don't have anything in the queue, so I'd be happy to do Jun Food as a second deck today, if you wanted to make a donation. Yeah, but even traditional non-mRNA vaccines don't give infinite lasting immunity. There's a reason why, like, flus or booster shots every year, right? Whale shoot. I think I'm taking company, and then we'll just Bone Shards the Thalia next turn. The problem is drawing the wrong half of our deck. Kinda. My point in pointing out that we're basically a 3-card combo is that, like, there's more than just one half to our deck, right? Yeah, and Burial Rites is one of the two things that we need here. Hey, thanks for the tip, Scholar. Do you have a particular Jun Food list you'd like to see played, or should I just grab a successful one from over the weekend? Let me know. This is a lot of power here. Okay, so we have 5 lands and Burial Rites rolled up here. So we're gonna have protection from friends next turn. You jam whatever? Awesome. Will do. All right. Do you have an answer to my friend, opponent? Narrator, they had an answer to our friend. Brutal, savage, wrecked. I think we're just boarding like exactly like we did against the other creature deck, right? Just like Jin and Thoughtseize out, Anger and Rip Apart in. Was that justice? No, not really. I mean, like, I didn't make any mistakes that game, right? Like, no justice is when, like, we, like, punt into the sun and then manage to win anyways. That was just a game of Magic that we died, because their deck had answers to our things. Maybe I am supposed to looting on one here, because I could draw a Priest of the Fell Rites on two. Alright, well I was gonna wait to Anger so I could pay for the Sentinel, but since they made the Sentinel bigger, that's no longer an option, so goodbye, friends. I think you need at least two Fauna Shaman. Fauna Shaman is effectively more copies of your best card. Opponent can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. Rude. It's a little bit risky discarding my my extra land, but that's fine. Kill their Dauntless Bodyguard here. This is, this deck's going about how I expected it to go. If I'm being honest. I was a little surprised to see this deck post a somewhat successful result in one of the SCG tournaments. I don't think it was a mistake that it posted a finish in one of the qualifiers and then did not do anything in the actual tournament it qualified for. Let's give it another try here, but definitely feels like our deck's not quite powerful enough to play through the hate cards. Lot of hostility out there. See some folks using the next open command. Rotation is Thursday. And then this Sunday, the next Hoaglandia Open, we bring you standard action all day here on the channel. Jim Davis will be my co-commentator for that event. Excited to have him back. do some content with. All right, what you doing? Main deck Soul Guide Lantern, chat. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yikes. I'm not reading that username. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Lack of Duress. That's been more common in a post-season Pyromancer world. I got clickbaited into checking chat when you read that username. God bless. I'm confident that that is the intention of that username. It is. It is a grade A troll. No, we're gonna do standard deck building after we play Historic today. How's the Batman playthrough going? It's good. We left off on Friday, if you're familiar, where the Joker inside our head had just convinced us that we need to hit Robin over the head and lock him in a cage. So we're gonna start off with some action today when we shift over to that this afternoon after deck building. Cappy, thanks for the 3 years. It's a long time. Welcome back. Okay, so the first one names instant here, right? Or do we name sorcery? They almost assuredly have Blood Chief's Thirst, right? I could just put 2 into play, both naming creature. I name sorcery and creature. Logan, thank you for the 15 months and for the very generous tier 3. Welcome back. Goodbye, friend. Do I just pivot off of some of our reanimate plan here? Is that the correct thing to be doing? Just like bring in Anger, Legion Warboss, and some Soul Guide Lanterns? Maybe that's what we're supposed to be doing when we expect a lot of hate post board. Just like have slightly less combo, more like work towards casting our stuff. Let's see how that goes. Oh, you know what? I left the rip apart in my sideboard. I should bring that in because it kills Arcanist. Looncar, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Jeremy Stilson, thank you for the 2.5 years. Welcome back. All I'm saying is, if out of the 1,030 people that are currently in the stream, if there are 21 of you that haven't followed yet, you would get us to 69,000 followers this morning. So just consider the thing you could be a part of if you just take a second and click the button. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some of them. Butterbutt, Girthy Gerbil, and Willard. Thanks for tapping the thing. I think this is fine, right? We don't have black mana, but we've got a few things here. Look at all these wonderful folks. French noob guy, Alvarez and Jack. Howdy, howdy. Inquisition's actually pretty good because anger is your only piece of interaction. Inquisition's also a reason to not mulligan here, though. Just like, you don't make your hand better by making it start with less cards against the discard deck. Blue card, thank you for the tier 1 sub. That's very generous. This is my full-time gig these days, and I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. Morning, GeoGuess. Me too, Nimblest Sloth. Thanks for the 2 months. I was sad to hear that apparently SCG didn't just black out one weekend. They've blacked out, or sorry, not Star City. I heard from Star City that Wizards has blacked out the next 2 weekends for official Wizard-supported tournaments. So SCG won't be back for a little while to give us a big chunk of standard data. It's like, our tournament on Sunday will be fun and sweet, but we won't have the largest sample size of matches to look at. It'll be interesting to see how things develop for sure. We will have access to untapped data to look at things too. Why would Wizards of the Coast do that? I've found I'm a much happier person not trying to speculate on why Wizards does the things that they do. Oh, that's true. They did give Croakies some gems for 925. Star City Games said they were told they couldn't hold tournaments that weekend, though, just for reference. Maybe the Wizards blackout stuff only applies to things that queue you for Pro Tours, as opposed to things that just give out gems. If we sub for 5 years, that give us common law residencies here in Hoaglandia. It's a good point. You do get a castle for your icon at 4 years, so maybe it's 4 years you get residency. Yeah, I'm interested to see. SCG doesn't do any coverage, and Croakies said that he plans to do coverage for his tournament, so I'm excited to see what he does. More people putting on great tournaments with coverage can only be good for the Magic community. Croakies bigger than SCG confirmed. I mean, Croakies' average viewer count is probably more than what SCG was averaging back in the day, so that's probably not inaccurate to say. I would wager Croakies tournaments are not on MTG Melee because he has some kind of deal, or his Liquid has some kind of deal with whatever site they're running it on. So I think they're running it on some other third-party esports site, which is sad from a data perspective because non-MTG Melee sites will have much worse Magic data. The ease of accessing deck lists and stuff will likely be worse. Alright, so I think we just try and jam this Seasoned Boy here now. Can you donate to make me play Machamp? Yeah, definitely. Ah, Seasoned Pyromancer. So nice, we'll draw it twice. Definitely feeling a little bit of a wrong half problem here this morning in this matchup. Elesh and Bone Shards not particularly good against a control deck. As Croakies currently the biggest Magic streamer. Croakies is the biggest Magic streamer in the history of Magic on Twitch. His explosion was unlike anything the game category had ever seen prior. Wow, super punished for how we tapped here. Sedge. It did at least resolve. That's fine. Next turn we can Thoughtseize before we Seasoned Pyromancer to hopefully clear a counterspell. Do we know how that happened? There's a lot of factors that go into it. A lot of the things that cause explosions like that are in addition to being good at what you do, it's also a lot of right place, right time stuff. Just being live at the right time, being in the category with enough viewers when the game's exploding, etc. I believe he was a Gwent streamer before he did a Magic sponsored segment, Socio. Magic sponsored a ton of people from other card games to come in. They did some Hearthstone people, they did some Gwent stuff. Yeah, being a mixture of slightly above average at playing the game or well above average. I'm not measuring anybody's skill while also being entertaining is a good mix to be successful on Twitch. His interactions on Magic Twitter are excellent. Hearthstone streamers, do you think they can get Brian Kibler? Thanks for the Prime, Dr. Boop. Good morning, good morning. Maybe I was supposed to ditch the priest so we could unearth it, but I kind of want to be able to try and do this twice, right? There could be a concern about this killing us. They also have memory could happen here too if they're worried about us reanimating. We can see them just like flash this back to clear my graveyard. Yeah, this seems smart with the Jin-Gitaxias in there. Man, our hand is really not good, huh? I guess we just do this. And then we attack. Hey, Dr. Boop. Thanks for the sub-gifties. That's very generous of you. Thanks for partaking in that September discount. It's currently 20% off all gifted subs and first-time subs for people who are not familiar with that promotion. Kind of expecting Massacre Wurm to die here. Really? Okay. I guess Drown in the Lock couldn't hit Massacre Wurm, huh? Leave this up so we can Thoughtseize if we draw it. Sounds good, Scholar. That was where I was gonna start.
I know 88 ways. I have just the trick for this.
God, our deck is so bad against our set. And they even, we're just dead, right? Like, they get to exile this Massacre Wurm. I don't draw a card. I can't bring it back with Unburial Rites. Like, I can't cast Faithless Looting because they have Narset in play. So, Legion Warboss and Duress command, this comes in because it hits Narset. When I cut these Thrilling Discoveries, because they're bad against counterspells and terrible against Narset. Bone Shards doesn't seem particularly exciting. I think I need to keep looting in Pyromancer so I have enough things to put in the bin. Trim and Unburial Rites, just planning to cast more of these. 7 Reanimate spells seems like plenty. I expect them to have more. I think Elesh is... I think I just want all those top-end threats to just be casting Distraction Ninja. Elesh, like, pumps up our Pyromancer tokens, too. Well, chat, our hand only does one thing, but thankfully that thing is making their hand not do things, so we'll bottom the second black, keep the second red. Show me your secrets. Opponent just drew the third door set. Why would you put that energy out into the world? Why would you wish that upon me? What did I ever do to you? Our best draw at this point is like Seasoned Pyromancer, so we get a little bit of grind going. They shocked in there, so I'm expecting a memory lapse to happen when we do finally draw a spell to cast. To the people discussing Wizards of the Coast salaries in chat, you're not wrong, but Wizards of the Coast also doesn't need to pay people more. They don't need to pay people more for the same reason they don't need to make Magic Arena's economy more friendly, right? They're not going to run out of players or people that want to be employed by them. The games industry in general gets to be very, very predatory like that in terms of what they pay people, because there's a lot of people that want those jobs. So they get to pay less because there's more competition. They have a Grafdigger's Cage, and they have a Search for Azcanta, so we're probably just done here, right? I mean, how does Twitch, I mean, like, so that statement doesn't quite make sense, Chuki. The reason why Twitch won the streaming wars is because they explicitly give streamers the most money. All right, let's give this one more shake, but definitely am going about as expected here in terms of getting hosed by sideboard cards. I was playing Wellsprings, probably a food matchup. I'm gonna Thoughtseize on one just in case they have a oven we can take ahead of time. We have for Bant, Snowwalkers with Thorn Clicks and New Tef. Yeah, that sounds fine, Beansy. Augustella, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Niner, thanks for the 2nd month. I'm looking forward to rotation too. Looking forward to see what people bring to the open this weekend. I mean, it's not even about just like getting rich, Martin, right? Like I'm far from wealthy, but still make my income here on Twitch. It just makes the most business sense to be here on Twitch compared to other platforms. Is X a better best of 1 deck? Yeah, potentially. So the core of this deck list came from a best of 3 SCG tournament qualifier. I'd be surprised if New Standard is mostly iteration decks. There's a lot of things in... What's it called? There's a lot of things in Standard 22 that have a lot of variety. The true measures of wealth are the number of followers you have that refuse to read the cards. Okay, well. That was pretty unlucky, chat. Our Thoughtseize missed. Pretty unfortunate. Donna the Slum, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Okay, so we're just like jamming to get deeper into the deck here, right? We can find another fatty. We have a Priest to Unearth that can bring it back. Well, Twitch's success isn't just related to being the biggest, Danny. In fact, I think you could argue that YouTube overall, even though its live streaming segment is smaller than Twitch's, is bigger, has potential to get more eyes. The driving factor of why Twitch is the largest platform is because of Twitch Prime. Yeah, YouTube, in fact, when I'm talking to boomers, I frequently describe my job in the context of YouTube because they don't know what Twitch is, but they know what YouTube is. I would love to attempt some Blue-Red Giants after rotation, Alec. The California recall wasn't close. I did not hear the results on that, but that's great to hear. Man, this Corvold's gonna beat our Elesh Norn, isn't it? Silver Oak, if you're looking to donate for something to be built today, you could just go ahead and donate for it. I'll take most anything for New Standard. You should just be not finding it. We did all of the base control playthrough, although I didn't finish the DLCs. Yeah, it's definitely up there. Flesh-Eaten Gnome, thanks for the 34 months. Welcome back. Lord Sunder and Tamanarit, thanks for the follows. Am I dead yet? Yeah, I think we're dead, right? They, like, play Mayhem Devil, they crack this fetch land, I go to 8, this Core Vault goes to the next one, and then... Yeah. And, like, this, honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and be done with this deck. Like, that was a good example of, I think, why this archetype's just, like, not really good enough. Like, I literally got to execute our game plan that game, like, without them having sideboard cards or hate, and they still just dumpstered us, right? So, I think this archetype, it's neat that it posted a result, but it's important to remember that a one-off result doesn't make an archetype. I think if you really love this deck and you don't mind playing best of one, I think the point someone brought up earlier, this is probably an okay best of one deck, is probably reasonable, but overall, the ultimate power level of what this deck is doing, especially in conjunction with the amount of graveyard hate you catch post-board. We even ran into, like, some main deck lanterns during this set. Like, it's just not quite good enough.